A domino and silly season that many of us pretty much knew was going to fall is looking to as soon as this weekend, with Josh Berry being announced to be in the 4 looking more and more likely. We're going to look at this and also how Stewart-Haas Racing could and probably should rebuild right after this. Hey, you hear that? That's the sound of summer approaching, and you can't go into the summer without Raycon. Raycon is on a mission so that you don't have to pay arms and legs for earbuds.
Just a flesh wound.
And this is so that you can get a pair and then maybe a spare pair and still pay less than you would for big name brands. I love the noise isolating design of these earbuds because it really helps me just cancel out everything else that's around me. And the custom gel fits for my ears are amazing. It helps me all day long when I'm working out, and I love that it's great for my long work days, especially with 8 hours of playtime on each Raycon pair. So, to get your Raycons today, click the link in the description below, or go to buyraycon.com/iceberg to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. That's buyraycon.com/iceberg to get 15% off your Raycon purchase today. So, now, back to the show. So, with this, we have Berry going into the 4, replacing Kevin Harvick. And from what it looks like, Rodney Childers, the current crew chief of the number 4 team, will be staying along, which will be a very big help for Berry. But I don't know if that and the leftover notes from Kevin Harvick being in the car will necessarily be enough to push the entire team of Stewart-Haas Racing forward into a dominant state again. When you look, there are some major holes that will need to be filled or will just take time to fill in. There is Anheuser-Busch, for instance, looking to go to Trackhouse with Chastain, as the one team is looking to be the favorite to land the beer company. Then you also have to look at the fact that Josh Berry won't set the world on fire more than likely because he will be a rookie. Yes, he has done well with Hendrick Motorsports in his time subbing in for Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott, but that's just it. It's Hendrick Motorsports, a team that has proven to be an elite level organization for the better part of 40 years, whereas Stewart-Haas Racing, it's pretty clear, has a trajectory downwards at the moment. And with that equipment, you also have to look at the fact that his Xfinity career so far has been good, I will say that, but I think many overblow just how good. I think he is slightly overrated because he's a driver for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's very talented. I think that he will be better than most of Stewart-Haas Racing, but look at his Xfinity career so far. He has 5 wins so far in his career, and the best he's done last year was 11 top 5s, but he's looking to eclipse that this year. And when you look at his average finish for the most part, it hovers around the 11th spot. Solid, but he's not the best driver even at his Xfinity program. That honor belongs to Justin Allgaier this year, and in the past, going to Noah Gragson. While that is some pretty stiff Xfinity competition to go against, neither of them have proven yet that they would be cup-level drivers, and if Berry can't beat them, while it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, it is a pretty good indication that he has a long way to go in development to reach a even playoff-level cup driver. He finished 4th last year, so that's not too bad, and he is 5th in points right now, but it is proving that with JRM a little bit down, it's not Berry that's lifting them up by any means. And when you look at the future of Stewart-Haas Racing, this is a bit troubling. Looking at each individual team, we'll go through the 3 right now that look set, and then the one that I think is the linchpin for the rebuilding process. First off, you have, of course, Berry in the 4. We've went over that. But you also have Chase Briscoe in the 14 car. And in my opinion, Briscoe is the new cornerstone for Stewart-Haas Racing. While they built their success on drivers like Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, even Clint Bowyer to a degree in the past, now it is up to Chase Briscoe to take up the mantle with Kevin Harvick gone. Briscoe right now is a big Ford and Tony Stewart driver. Both have put a lot into him, and it looks like he's there for the long haul. Also, Briscoe has shown real flashes of talent, both in the Xfinity Series with great seasons, as well as great runs in the Cup Series when he's able. Last year, he was an outside chance to make the Final Four if things had went right, even though the equipment did not warrant even getting that far into the playoffs. So, Briscoe is a driver that I think they can build upon. He has talent. And I think that if it is harnessed, he may even have the talent to lift his equipment up a bit over where it's at. I don't think he's going to be somebody like Kevin Harvick, but I do think that he could be somebody that's maybe a borderline playoff driver every year, maybe even to the level that RFK is currently at. Then you look at Ryan Preece in the 41. While it has been a pretty abysmal year so far, it's fit what the equipment will give him, and it is his first year with the team. He's run where it's let him run, and I think that when he has a good car, he can deliver. Look at Martinsville, where he led a ton of laps, and I think that he should have at least one more chance to show that he can improve year over year. There's been no rumblings really about the 41 car having a replacement for Preece, other than a rumor here or there that's been mostly unsubstantiated. So I personally think that he'll be back in this car next year, and he should be given that chance. But now the big one, the number 10 car. At the moment, the number 10 car is a mystery, as it was at this time last year. Aric Almirola is a veteran presence with the team, and if he were to come back next year, would be the most experienced driver by a long shot for Stewart-Haas Racing. He also has sponsorship with Smithfield, so I am assuming that SHR would want that to come back, as it seems like Smithfield is tied to the hip with Almirola. But there's nothing really to report on too much. Almirola is unsure if he wants to come back just as he was last year. He has not performed any better than he did last year. And, well, there is going to be a lot riding on what happens with this 10 car. In my opinion, this is the most important car when it comes to how Stewart-Haas Racing's future will look. Now, there's been other names that have been dropped around this car. Some of them substantiated, some of them unsubstantiated. But we're going to look at each that have really been the front runners for it. First off, we have Michael McDowell. Mike Dowell has been rumored to be in the car in the past few weeks, and when you look at how he's run with front row, he has outperformed his equipment immensely, though it is worth questioning if front row equipment is now better than Stewart-Haas Racing equipment. Does he have sponsorship? Maybe, because while Loves has stuck with the 34 car for a long time, maybe they've grown an attachment to McDowell. There's also Zane Smith. Zane Smith right now is the biggest major Ford prospect, and Stewart-Haas Racing has lost out in the past on many major prospects or great drivers. Just look at them losing out on both Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch in previous years, and in my opinion, if they are even in the running for Zane Smith, they cannot afford to lose him because he could be that next elite driver that Ford and SHR can build upon, as I really do think he could outperform the equipment as well. There's also Riley Herbst. I'm going to say this now. He's not ready. I thought he was improving a lot, but he's regressed to the mean immensely as the last couple weeks, maybe even months have taken place. But he does have the money. The sponsorship is there for him, and if they're desperate enough, they probably would take him up there, even again, if he's not ready. And of course, Cole Custer is somebody who has a lot of organizational ties, as his father works in the company, and his year in the Xfinity so far, while starting out rough, has gotten better. So he could realistically be back in the ride that he was kicked out of. And then there's one other driver, a driver who is a bit of a rumor, but there is a little bit of sense to be made out of it, and that's Harrison Burton. While Burton right now is underperforming in the 21 car, he does have sponsorship with Dex Imaging, and that would be really big for the 10 team as well if they can just patchwork deals around that sponsorship the way that the Wood brothers have for the most part as well. Burton probably also needs a pretty big change in scenery, as he has, like I said, been very terrible in that 21 car. And he's shown flashes in the past of talent, so it's not like he can't perform. Being a Ford driver too now, it would fit in the family, so it is somebody as a wild card to look out for. But with that, I'm going to pass this all on to you and ask, what do you think about Josh Berry driving the 4 and the future of Stewart-Haas Racing? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support, and until next time, have a good one.